Hi.
Hello.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bring It to the Table. Of course, once again, Kyron is on the loose, but he will be here shortly. So, just kind of chill out a little bit. He gonna be here for all y'all bald-headed lovers. He will be here. Did you see my post I put on the other day? When I said it was so hot, it was hotter than a bald head wearing a wig with a cap on.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. It was hot.
It was Arizona hot in
And
California.
then today it wanted to be 75 degrees.
September's the hottest month.
No, October is normally. Normally it's October. Yeah, it's normally October.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we normally break records in October.
Last year and the year before that, September, we hit triple digits.
Dishes, you've been drinking. You've been drinking.
I've been drinking.
Going on and tell the folks what they need to do with their cheering.
Please put them up. Some of us have been drinking a little bit earlier than normal. So if there's any elderly people lingering around and they don't want to hear cussing and fucking and sucking, don't put them up.
I used to know a hoe like that back in 82.
Oh, my hoes.
Oh. Well, look,
I'm an honest hoe, and all my hoes is honest.
So this whole thing. You know what? Actually, Gene, I want to start with you because you're a little bit more juicier. This whole thing today, I'm telling you, you shocked me with this. Now, everybody knows I'm on pop culture. But you shocked me today. You shocked me. Go on and tell these folks what's going on in the world of Miss Braxton.
So after the heartfelt 911 call,
we're going to flip it, Wendy. Sorry.
Tamar's boyfriend made to the police to help save her from her suicidal attempt. 911 call.
We're going to flip it, Wendy. Sorry.
He is now filing a restraining order against her for a altercation, physical altercation that they had.
Hold that thought 1 second. Wendy can. Okay, we good? Okay, cool. All right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, as you all know, Tamar Braxton's boyfriend, he was also the person who called 911 to help save her when she, attempted to commit suicide. But the story keeps getting juicier because he is also the same person that today he submitted a restraining order against her for a physical altercation that they had in the car. So it went from love to fuck you. It went from save her to arrest her quickly.
Let me tell you something.
I can't see which.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kyron has joined us. But I honestly don't know what to say. I'm like, 2 months ago.
That was a pendulum swing.
2 months ago, you almost out of here, gal. And now
you fucking people up in the car.
Damn, did you?
But you know what? Her family says that apparently they're saying that she's been very different since she's been with him, they feel that he's a huge influence on her behavior, even though he was the one who made the 911 call. But you know what? When you listen to the 911 call, he just sounds so calm and
when
unbothered.
That 911 call was made, a lot of people did state that, why is he so calm? Why is this mood? Yeah, it's like and then maybe some people are just like that. I know that when I've attended close loved ones' funeral, I don't cry and scream out and do all the other stuff. So maybe, different streets, different freaks.
I don't either, but she wasn't dead. Okay. It was a shocker that she was dying. I think when you're surprised that someone is in front of you dying, you may respond a little bit different.
How you know she wasn't dead?
Because she's still here.
Oh, wait a minute. The way your voice came in, that hit me like a, ooh, yeah. Thank you. I said, how she knew she wasn't?
He filed that restraining order today.
So. Well, speaking of restraining orders and things like that, Monique. Oh, yes. Momo. You know what? I'm so happy. I am so happy for Monique right now. Like, y'all don't understand. So a federal judge sides with Monique in the Netflix discrimination lawsuit. And I am
Good.
I am so happy for her because she's been getting the rough end of the stick. And if she keep talking about Oprah, she's been talking about Oprah and old boy for the last, my God, how many years? 4
Tyler
years?
Perry.
Yes, for the last how many years? But with this one in particular, I was happy because Winnie, do we have that picture? I just want to not Harry and Meghan. Monique. Oh, did I send you Monique? Maybe I didn't. Hold on, but let me just tell you about Monique's thing. In 2018, Netflix offered Monique $500,000 for a comedy special and refused to negotiate even further. The lawsuit said, adding that the streaming service offered Amy Schumer 26 times more per show than Monique, which they did. They offered Amy Schumer, like, what's up, Ruben?
Hey, Ruben.
Like, I mean, up $10 million. And Monique has how many comedy specials that have been successful? She was a Queens of Comedy. She's an Oscar winner. I mean, and then it said, despite Monique's extensive resume and documented history of comedic success, when Netflix presented her with an offer of employment for an exclusive stand-up comedy special, Netflix made a lowball offer that was only a fraction of what Netflix paid other Black female comedians, the lawsuit argued. When she complained, Netflix allegedly failed to continue negotiations, which would have been the usual practice in Hollywood. So I want to say this, which I thank Monique for, and this whole judge by doing this. Because of Monique, because she won a major victory against Netflix in her lawsuit alleging race and gender discrimination after a federal court ruled Thursday that she was plausibly, allegedly streaming the Giant illegally retaliated with the rejection of a lowball offer to do comedy. Okay, I read that fast because I want to tell you guys this. When you guys are negotiating deals with Hollywood, the common practice is they make you an offer, you reject, or you accept. And if you reject, then you guys go into,
negotiations.
Thank you. And so when you go into negotiations, a lot of times in fair practice, you tend to walk away with more than you bargained for. That's actually true, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they already have an amount that they're going to give you anyway. So they just try to lowball you to see if you're going to take it. But say like Monique went in there saying that she wanted $5 million. Well, they were already going to cap her at $8 million, right? So she went in there and she was like, no, but let's just start her a little bit lower because, whatever. Let's just see if she'll take it. But because Monique has been blackballed by Hollywood, Netflix thought they had grounds to stand on, thinking that people wouldn't watch her or anything. But people have to remember that right before this negotiation deal, Monique did an 8-week stand-in Vegas. She had her own show in Vegas and sold out every single night. It was only supposed to be for 2 weeks, and it went for 8. So that's why Monique is like, who the hell y'all think y'all fucking with? Like, I still, got the clout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
still
the female Dave Chappelle. Negro.
Right.
Straight up. Like, I don't care what you say about Monique doing that Precious, because basically Precious is just one thing. You know what I'm saying? And her biggest thing is she didn't want to do promotion for it. That's the bottom line of what that is. She didn't want to do promotion
for free.
They would for free because they weren't talking about adding any more dollars
with Tyler.
With Tyler. And everybody else who has worked with Tyler, and they've done it for free because they like, oh, I'm with Tyler Perry. Oh, I'm with Oprah Winfrey. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Monique's like, look, I just won an Academy Award. I ain't got to do this shit for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done won all these. I ain't got to do this shit for free. Monique knew what her value was. So you artists out there, I know that you're trying to get your foot in the door or whatever, but guess what? You can block that motherfucking door from closing just by putting your toe in if you know what you're doing correctly. Okay? All right, cool. So with Monique,
make sure they ain't got no corns on them. Shit.
That's right. No, wait, I don't know. Pop the corn, feed the children. So
What do you?
It's gonna be a night tonight. I already see this shit coming.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But what you gonna say, Jean?
I first of all, I applaud her for the stand that she took, and you're absolutely right. If you know your value, you should fight the way that she did. The confusion is you don't want everybody who isn't at her stature going after a Tyler Perry or an Oprah. I just think there was a slightly different way she could have done it, just like there's a different way that I could have done it.
Okay.
But the reason I could have done things rather, but I don't know.
Yeah, let me put that. If I can get my go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Side of me says high five because I get that. I get being attacked for not being able to cut that off and still do it. But the other side of me says, damn, you were so big, you could have strategically PR'd this a different way.
Well,
you know I mean?
Here's how that ties into it, and I will let you go, Kyra. Here's how I think that ties into it. Just like with Tamar and her new, fiance, whatever, getting into negotiations of her business, Monique's husband is also her manager. So do you guys think that having a relationship with who your boss is can be hazardous to your career?
Absolutely.
Kyron,
absolutely.
August.
Entanglement.
Entanglement.
Don't play it, Wendy. Don't play it, Wendy. No, I really want to hear because.
So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say like this. It's real simple.
Yeah,
it's simple. It's I have a challenge with somebody who serves me food and has an attitude. I have a problem with someone who is supposed to be in the people business.
Yeah.
And you show up with an attitude. I just use food as an example.
Yeah.
As I eat.
If you don't want this motherfucking job, you shouldn't apply for it. The job entails serving the client base.
That's right.
And making me happy. Your job is to make me happy. Fuck what you're going through. Now, how does that apply to this conversation? If you decide to fuck with the devil without some KY juice, in the entertainment industry, it is a game at that level. It is a devil's game. And so you can either play the high road moralistically and take your stand and be ousted.
So true.
Or go fuck with the devil that you chose in the first. Don't ever become high and mighty to understand that you think you've attained a level and got to a certain space because you sold out. You still black. You're still a woman. You're still in a sodomistic world where everybody's getting fucked in the ass, literally, and giving it up. And now you want to add your husband into the mix on top of that, an alpha black male, and then want to take and think that it's an even playing field.
Right.
It's not. There's
you got a position to play, and you should play it.
What's up, Chan? It
goes back to us talking about Jay-Z getting to the table, but there's 200 of you, Jay-Z, at that table. Right. But the ones that are on the low road are sitting like, you need to sit up there and fight for us. You need to sit up there and take a posture, and this is your chance. You finally got a chance. Motherfucker, how you want to tell me?
I just got here, motherfucker.
They just let me in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So so all these individuals that are playing this game that have gotten to that position, a Will Smith, a Tyler Perry,
Oprah,
anybody else, an Oprah, these are all new motherfuckers to the table. They aren't even actually in the jersey. They're being played.
You better say this, man. You better say this because you got to think about it. Within the last 50 years, this is not generational money that Tyler and Oprah has.
It's new money.
This is new money.
New money.
Yeah. Say it, Kyron.
As quickly as they gave it to you, they will take that shit back if you don't know how to play your cards, leverage it, and redirect your energy,
somewhere
else, causes, and your money to be able to get the power. See, everybody thinks you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the influence. This is Monique's. This ain't got shit to do with Monique. I'm just gonna keep it real. This is a ghetto mentality. I'm not even gonna say a Negro. It's a ghetto mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ghetto mentality to think that because you got money, you now got power, and you think you got influence.
You do on the street, but not in Hollywood. You do when you're moving pounds, but not in Hollywood.
And that's short-lived because somebody coming to take your ass out.
Call a cartel where you're
somebody is right behind you, watching you, studying you. Just like y'all seen the movie All About Eve. You saw what she did.
But I just think that I don't think Monique was fighting the wrong cause. She was fighting for the right thing, but she went
in the wrong war.
In the wrong war. And even if this does come out with Netflix where they approved it and all that stuff, she's still blackballed to a degree.
Not to a degree. She's let me fuck the politically correct.
Yeah.
She's blackballed.
Yeah.
Unless she becomes a Trump supporter, it's over.
You know, I often wondered, like, because I've worked with Monique a couple of times on the BET Awards. Super sweet, has always been just very, very beautiful person. I wonder why was she trying to bring so much light into her situation on how Tyler and Oprah treated her? Because I'm like, that to me wasn't going to push the pendulum any kind of way, because Oprah is Oprah and Tyler is Tyler. So I often wondered, like, Monique, what was your agenda?
I'm going to tell you why. Because when you took the path that she took and where she came from, it didn't come from a space where it was even kill and she was logical from day one.
Okay.
She came from an already painful situation.
You're absolutely right.
So that broken winged bird concept, when you get to that point, the trough can only take so much before it bursts.
True.
And she feels like she swallowed and ate so much crow and so much bullshit to get where she did. And I applaud her. This motherfucker has done. I mean, she's amazing. She has.
I mean, come on, the woman, regardless of what, she got an Oscar sitting on her mantle. It's like,
but and see, I'm gonna say, but it's not gonna give you a pass.
True.
And that you chose that occupation, you chose that path, you chose that game. Then you better learn how to play the
learn how to play it. And the reason why I want to say this is, I think everyone has a threshold, and everyone thinks that once they hit their threshold, that's where their power begins when it comes to Hollywood. Some people go all the way. I think she hit her threshold and it was too soon. She shot her shot too soon.
Understood. I understand that. But she said that if she doesn't speak up for something, then who will? She's like, because she feels like she has to carry the next generation on her back, and she felt like she should be the voice for the next generation. So they don't. She said, because Hattie Mae McDaniel did it for her, then she should have to do it for the next generation.
The next generation has already jumped off her ship unless she goes and builds another ship that is actually running parallel to the entertainment industry, but they ain't got shit to do with the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
It's the ones that
once she dived in that water and realized you needed a submarine.
Black abyss.
Fuck it. I gotta do this for something.
And I hope financially she can pay those attorneys to go through this litigation with Netflix, because this is going to be a long road. Because Netflix, I mean, come on, you're challenging someone as big as Netflix.
I want to see her win, but at the end of the day, it's still not going to go. It's not going to. It's
but
not.
If she wins, when will her next Netflix?
It's still never going to happen. It's never. She's never. She just literally.
Because now it's
you played a white game being black, and now they've made sure to let you know that you're black and that you're black.
Yeah. Isn't it sad though that, or should I say sad, that we still have to make ourselves, prove ourselves to the whites, or to the white game, should I say, not just white folks, but to the white game.
The only thing that's permanent in this world is change, I remember my take on everything that was dealing with just the gay world as it moved in. And now you have 126 different genders. Honestly, there's actually 126 different genders.
I know, yeah.
I remember when, what was it, Humpback Mountain or Brokeback Mountain or something?
Not the hump. Look, when you said the hump, I said, where?
That drink. This motherfucker said Humpback Mountain. No.
Wales? Okay,
and
look, speaking of Netflix, real quick.
Humpback. Brokeback Mountain, bro.
Humpback. Okay, so.
You gonna say something, CJ? What we gotta say, man?
Speaking of Netflix, look, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry just signed a very lucrative deal with Netflix. Now, see, this is how you do it. So
multi-year.
Let me tell you, multi-year Netflix deal. And what I love about them is that, first off, his wife is an actress who was a budding writer, who was it's like they are the couple. They are the couple. I just love them. And they also just paid back the $3.2 million to the UK government, because they asked for that money. When you become a sovereign, you go into the taxpayers and you decide which house or whatever you want to live in the UK. And so then the taxpayers pay for the renovations or whatever. So they spent $3.2 million in renovations. And when they gave up their titles, they had to pay it back. And so guess what? They paid it back this month. And guess what? They're building a new house here in LA. And guess what? They just signed this new deal with Netflix. And so Meghan is pretty much like, I'm here. I'm here. I think I think it's time for us to talk to Netflix and make some lucrative deals. How about that, Kyron? I think it's time.
That's 100% on point because this shit is about to get
Y'all
really.
Netflix and
we
chill
about
with
to get
us. That's what
in here.
it
I can tell you, Peter's gonna come in 5 minutes because he has to be out the gym, which
Yep.
allows to carry
We
it
got
on.
it. Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is, you shouldn't get on a football field unless you're prepared to get hit.
Hello. Because when I tell you
agree.
about them football fields, Serena Williams kicking ass, y'all. She
Nigga,
kicking
what?
Hey, when talk about another comeback win for Serena Williams at the U.S. Open. Now, I said Williams
Some
trailed
CPP.
familiar foe Maria Sakkari by breaking early in the third set before turning the tables for a 6-3, 6-7, 6-3 victory on the Arthur Ashe Stadium. You know what I'm telling you? She came back with a vengeance because she said, you know what? Y'all tried to get me last time because y'all said I was a mom and that I was off my game. But let me show you hoes a little something. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you a little something.
Can't
But the only thing I didn't like about the article that CNN put out was that it said another comeback win for Serena Williams at the U.S. Open as 3 moms reach quarterfinals for the first time. Okay, here's why I did and I didn't like it. First off, being a mom has nothing to do with your ability to succeed or excel. I read it that way. It may sound like something else to other people, but to me, I read it that way. But on the other thing, okay, 3 moms. Kick ass then, because that's showing you that moms can do everything, you know? So I was skating on the fence with that. Yeah, I was skating on the fence with that. But anyway, kudos to Serena Williams. You back in the game. I'm so glad. You look good out there, too. You the right kind of thickness that we all like. So we thank you, Serena. We thank you.
Y'all know y'all like it.
We thank you. All right. So today, what? Ow! Ow! Anywho, so today we have a special guest, and Byron, you want to go ahead and introduce Mr. Or like Betty Davis says, we lost you. We lost
We can't
Kyron.
hear you.
Peter.
Doc, like
He gonna come back.
What's
There
happening?
you go.
Oh, shit.
Hey, B, what's happening? I'm
We hear you
Lady
now.
T. Both of the other ladies rapping ain't got nothing on me.
We can hear you now, bro.
Well, this is just gonna be the start of something because we were going to do a celebrity night tonight. So we're still going to do it because he's only going to be on for a short time. But Peter is Peter Pumpkin Eater is the man.
Peter.
He is the brand specialist. He is a magician when it comes to generating a positive cash flow through branding, through profiling, through strategic methods of building people in every arena, from social media all the way to television, all the way around the world. His resume is so long, we don't have time. I want to just bring him on. He is one of my closest. It's like one of my. The way I explain him is he's one of my closest, furthest friends. Meaning, if that makes any sense. I mean, somebody who we don't have to talk for 6 months, and we could talk every day. That we trigger each other on. He is brilliant when it comes to just life in itself, but truly being able to create magic in people's lives, and his programs and what he's been able to do from Jay Shetty all the way to Les Brown, all the way around the table, all the way back to from his days of being in hairstyling. He has created some of the greatest giants around the planet. He'd have a ball with your head. But he's just amazing. So I just want to bring my Peter Anthony extraordinaire. Please bring him in.
Sup?
Hello, Peter. You know, I have to say it like Betty Davis. I have to say it like Betty. Peter.
You are a silver fox.
It's
Peter Pan. You know, when he said hair, you know, that had to fluff up mine a little bit more. So
I noticed that. And it's looking and it's looking quite nice.
Do you know why? Because I'm the shit.
and I will toast to that. Here's
Mazel.
The shit.
I love the drink.
Peter, thank you so much for look. What are you drinking, by the way, Peter?
An 18-year-old.
In the days of Trump
Scotch.
and Epstein. Oh, Scotch, quite wonderful.
I knew what that meant.
I just
can I have some fun? Can I have some fun? I know what it meant, but can I have some fun today?
So
okay,
you guys had some great topics today.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everything from Serena to to what's going on with Netflix. Some powerful stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you're talking about Hollywood and having been in there so long myself, but in the background, you know, I was the artist who took care of the artists for a long time.
Yeah.
But I also owned my own talent agency, and we owned a production company. So even though I was the face of one brand, I was the president and CEO of like 5 brands.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a sneaky little club.
Yeah.
It's, you know, and Byron was saying something, and you all were sort of agreeing, you know, and I think it's with any club. When you're in a position where you're asking to come into the club, right? I'm asking to come into your club today, right? I'm in the position of being. I'm in a position. I don't want to say it's an inferior position, but you're certainly in the superior position, and I'm grateful. And my gratitude and my economy of politeness and my ability to woo you and to be of service to you in that moment will determine whether I come back.
Okay.
Right. And most people, they forget that. They're like, oh, I won an Academy Award. Well, shit, man, I got a whole wall of trophies. But you know what? The first trophy got me to an invitation, but it didn't keep me at the next party. It didn't get me into the club. It got me an invitation to a party. That's what a trophy gets you. An Academy Award gets you an invitation to a party. It says, well, we've recognized that you're talented. We've recognized that this was your moment, but you have to prove that you belong here long term.
Yeah.
And that's anybody. You know, I think I texted you all, you know, they kicked Mel Gibson out.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
he got spanked.
Quit.
And that boy had multiple Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Talented guy, writer, director, producer, actor, funny, serious. And it took him almost about 15 years to get back in. And he's still on probation. He is.
For real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, and you know, what did that cost him? You know, so we take for granted that it has, I believe, right? You know, that it's not that your invitation to whatever party you're in, it could be marketing, it could be entertainment, it could be entrepreneurship, right? When I was lucky enough to catch a couple of Byron's lives this week, you know, when Byron invites you to the party, he says, I'm going to interview you. I'm interviewing you. I am interviewing you. You think you're here because you have a following and you've got all this stuff. And you know, even with Jay, or there's been moments with Les or Tony Robbins went through it. You know, Tony went through it about not even 12 months ago. You know, where his PR people are some of my best friends, and they're also Oprah's PR people, and Donna Karen's, and the list goes on. And they were like, oh, Tony's gonna get spanked, you know, and he just kind of because you can't come at it.
Yeah.
You can't come at it. If you start coming at it with attorneys and guts and courage, it might look like you're about to fight the good fight, but you're fighting the good fight against a system. And you know, and Byron said something that was interesting. Money is not power. Influence is power.
Yeah.
Influence comes before money. Money will follow influence. You might have a little, Quan, but you've got no power. Right. You know,
so should I
has no power.
So Peter, let me ask you this. So do you think with these cases, and it's happened with Whitney Houston, it's happened with even Toni Braxton, it's happened with Tamar Braxton, it's happened with Monique, do you think that family should stay out of your business?
You know, and that was, God, man, I was cringing, right? It's like, you know, how did that work out for WeWork? They got shut down, cost them a couple of billion to hire family. So, you know, you look at a lot of sports figures, right? They come up and then they start hiring friends and family to manage them. And these people have no experience in the game. Right. Now, some of them make it because of the obscure talent. LeBron James is a great example. But I personally think LeBron's probably left $400 or $500 million on the table.
Yeah.
you know, because he has inexperienced people managing his brand,
That's
Mhm.
right.
you know, I don't think I'll give you an example. When I was coming up in right around 1989, 1990, I opened my first hair salon.
Okay.
It's an interesting story, but I had a video production company and modeling agency, but I was doing a woman, her name was Debbie Gibson. And she was,
Debbie's a friend of mine.
oh, really?
She just
Cool.
celebrated
I
her
did her
birthday
hair
earlier
in that-
She just celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago.
Oh, yeah. She's a cool lady. But I knew her when she was a kid, and I was doing her hair. And
Yeah.
Diane, her mom, invited
Mhm.
me to go to China. And Debbie just came off that year. She was the #1 paid person on the planet.
Yep.
Right. And Diane was managing her career. And
Oh my
Diane
God,
crushed her career.
she talked about that.
Yeah,
God,
Diane crushed her
yeah.
career. So I would go to Debbie's house and I would do some hair. And Diane said to me, I remember I opened my salon. And I don't know, you must know Kevin Mazer,
I
the
do.
photographer.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Kevin and I grew up together. And
Okay.
Kevin did all my shoots in the beginning of my career. So make a long story short, Kevin introduces me to Debbie. Diane takes over. She says, listen, Debbie sort of likes you. You know, we're comfortable with you. We'd like you. You're doing a decent job. I didn't do a great job, quite frankly. You know, but you know what a green room's like. It's like sitting there and I'm sitting there for 12 hours. I'm bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
You know, like come
Hurry
out,
up and
touch the
wait.
hair, go back in. Here's a
Yup.
cracker. It was
Yes.
terrible.
Yeah.
Right. But Diane said, you know, why don't you come to China with us for 6 months? And I was like, nah, I'm not going to go to China. And she's like, this is the biggest mistake of your career. And I'm thinking to myself, I just opened a hair salon. I became #1 in the world. My career continued. Debbie, who was super, super talented,
Yeah.
super uber talented lady, uber talented, could have continued a killer career.
You're
and her
absolutely
mom
right.
crushed it.
She broke so many records, and she still holds, I think, the record for being the youngest woman to hold 3 Billboard titles.
Probably.
She could have gone, yeah.
She made 89 million in 89.
Mhm.
Yeah.
89 or 86 million. You know what that is in today's money? That's like making $300, $400, $500 million. She was bigger
Yeah.
than Britney. I did Britney's hair. She was bigger than everybody. But her mom was so arrogant. And I passed her on the street one day. And here's the difference. And I'll tell you. When I did Britney's mom's hair, we closed out one of our salons. We had Britney's whole family come in. And it was the first time Britney's mom ever got highlights. And I did her highlights. She sent me a handwritten card. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you for doing this. Now Britney never actually came to the salon that day.
Okay.
Her mom, now, and if you look at all of the train wrecks that Britney's had, but her mom was always cordial. You look at all the train wrecks the Kardashians ever had, but I will tell you one thing. That Mama Bear Kardashian, she knows how to do business.
She
Yeah,
sure
she
fucking
does.
does.
She does. And anybody who says the Kardashians aren't business people needs to learn something about
They need
business.
to learn something about it.
Yeah, they
They're that
know
before their
how
mothers
to
and
do
children.
business.
Yes.
And the Spears know how to do business.
Yeah.
But Debbie Gibson's mom never knew how to do business. She stepped into a position she should never been in. So to your point, I think family can be good if you're connected, right? I'm friends with a group called the Moffats.
Mhm.
Their dad was their manager. Where are they now? The terrible manager doesn't, he's like, oh, but they were the biggest thing in the world for a minute. They were, but that's because they're talented.
Mhm.
Your talent will continue get you noticed. Great management will keep you on top.
Yeah. I mean,
And
think about when Whitney
That's
Houston's
right.
dad took over her company, it went down. And, she ended up suing him and he ended up suing her. And it was just like, yeah.
But you're putting him in a
part of hair and
position.
makeup family for years, and I know for a fact that the politics in the hair and makeup world aren't that different from
Yeah.
Oh,
from the because they're connected, right? And so
it's all the same.
it's the same shit. And so you got to be careful. Like even with me helping Robin, and when friends ask me to manage them, I shy away from that because I don't want that. My connection is limited. And I think if you don't know how limited you are, you can hurt someone when they get to that door.
Yeah, and so now what we do is we basically manage digital talent. That's what I do for a living. And you're not the talent. You always have to remember as a manager, you're not the talent. You're not supposed to have as big a Instagram as the talent. You're supposed to put the talent in a position.
Thank you for saying that.
To grow their Instagram. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to be taking pictures and selfies. You take a picture with the talent in the back room. It's a black and white. If you want to see my pictures of me and Jay, or me and Les, or me and Tony, or me and Jack, you see them, but they're in the back room where I'm doing business.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't want to be the front of. I'm not supposed to be the front of the room. I'm not. That's not a management. You know.
That's the orchestra. That's the conductor.
You're the conductor. You're not taking a bow. You're taking a bow for the orchestra. You're taking a bow on behalf, and then you're introducing the talent and bringing them to the front. You know, you're the director. You're behind the curtain. You know that's and I believe to the other point of your question that there's no people don't realize that everybody wants to be Instagram famous today.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be their own version of TNA, and it's wasting people's time because you can never move forward. So I would never hire. If you want to get out of the circus, stop hanging out with clowns.
Let me ask you a question.
I think I love my family, and and I'll take them to dinner and I'll pay the check. But I don't want you managing my business, any part of it. You know, it's just because that's not your passion.
Right.
You see, Jay, I got all my skills being that conductor. I did it when I got the first brothel, and it got me through the door.
You sure did.
And I found all the talent.
I got the old pennies from that brothel.
And you helped me manage it, and it kept us on top.
And the real motherfucker of a brothel is looking at both of you motherfuckers going, really?
So Peter, I have a question for you. So when I met a good friend of mine, she's an Instagram model, over 200-something, actually 400-some thousand followers, and blah blah blah.
That's a good amount.
And she and I were talking, and when I saw her management company, I knew literally everybody on her team.
Yeah.
And she and I were talking, and then she looked at my Instagram followers, and she's like, "How come you don't have a lot of?" And I said, "But I know a lot of people, and a lot of people know me." And she says, "I wish I had what you had." And I said, "But you have over 400 some Instagram followers. Like you're." She says, "I would rather have the industry inside than just have a bunch of people who just like me that I don't know." And so I want to ask you that. Do you think it's better to have industry insight than to have 400 some followers on Instagram?
What's the context? Do I think it's better financially?
Either. Sure.
Okay. So I think
that's what's
Yeah. So I think if you have I think that listen, you're a good looking man.
Thank you.
Byron's good look. You're all ridiculous looking, right? I mean, and you're all celebrities. Someone's going to follow you because you're a celebrity. But my question is, are they going to invest in you? When I sat down with Jay, he now he's on with Will Smith, and there's a lot of stuff about Jay Shetty that the world doesn't know.
Okay.
But the idea is, when I sat down with him, I said, listen, the fact that they follow you doesn't mean they're going to buy from you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment and business are two different things.
Yeah.
You're entertaining them. I liked your video. I hit like. It cost me nothing. Now you're asking me for $100. Now I want to know what's in it for me. So in the context of that, if they're building up a brand, I'd rather, and I'm selling that brand to, I'm going to use Nike, because one of my clients has 3 million followers on Instagram, and Nike pays them a ridiculous amount of money.
Okay.
But in that case, Nike says you have 3 million people who love sports. You know, it's best celebrations, and you have 3 million people following you. This is awesome. Yeah. We want to get in front of those 3 million people because they're sports lovers, and we're going to pay you $10,000 a shout out every week. We need, we need 5 shout outs a week, whatever it is. And it averages to $2,000 a shout out, but it's a $500,000 contract, right? So that's lucrative because he has 3 million followers. Now they're not looking for an ROI because they can't measure that.
Right.
Right. So In that case, I'd rather have a lot of people get a big check. It's lucrative. People think I'm cool. If I'm a celebrity who needs to cut a movie or get a deal, they're going to look at how many people are following me to see if I'm charismatic.
Right.
Now, if I'm in my case or in Byron's case, Byron and I are in business to make money, which is not to say that they're not, but we're in business to say, okay, put your money down and do business. How we do business is you cut a check. I'd rather have 10,000 people following me that are willing to cut a check for 10,000 because then I made a lot of money. You know, that's 10,000 multiplied by 10,000 is a lot of money, right? I mean, I'm not good at business.
This is really, I'm telling you, this is helpful. I'm loving this. Yeah.
So, and you, there are people you'll never hear of who are making 20 million, 30 million a year. And then there are people who are top Instagrammers or YouTubers struggling to make 300,000-400,000. And, you know, not to say that 300,000-400,000 is not good money, but you know what I'm saying? You know, it's different. So what I would share with you is know your niche and build within your niche. You can't build both at the same time. You can't build a $10,000 follower if you're trying to get likes, because the $10,000 person like Byron or myself will come out and we're going to tell you how it is.
Yeah.
And that's going to turn off 9 out of 10 people. But the one that stays is going to cut me a fucking check. You see what I'm saying?
What's one of the biggest mistakes that you see that are in marketing that you see that are trending now?
Not taking advantage of the opportunity.
Okay.
Right now, we just cut a deal with Groupon.
Okay.
For my platform, youwillchangetheworld.com.
Okay.
And we have and we take experts and authors and we create online courses. So anybody who has an online course that can get distribution needs to take advantage of this opportunity, because this industry has grown just this year $75 billion. 75 billion in 1 year. There's no other industry in the world that took a $75 billion bump except vaccinations. That's the only one. So you want to be, you're either going to go become a pharmacist and a scientist. Good luck with that, because I think the vaccine will be, come out, whether I believe it or not. The vaccine's going to come out before you get your degree. Or you go spend the next 60 days and get something out there and teach people about how to overcome relationships. Teach people, like if I were you, I would teach somebody. I would do a course on auditioning. How to keep your composure and get through an audition. How to submit an audition to America's Got Talent or American Idol.
Right.
Or the X Factor.
Same thing with the stars.
You know what, Peter? You're actually on point, because I just got asked to do that recently.
You have to do that, because that. So if I were to put that onto my platform and introduce it to Groupon, we probably sell 100,000 units. Now here's the cool part: we sell 100,000 units, you make $250,000. It's not horrible, but it's changing your life this year, but it's not long-term money.
Correct.
But we sell 100,000 units, and I'm going to put 10,000 people, 5,000 people. I'm going to put 5,000 people into your $200 a month coaching call, and you're making $1 million a month.
Yeah.
I'm your best friend.
And if I can add to that, which he's a master at, CJ, not only did you just monetize yourself, because we're collaborating on this between the two of us and on my own shit.
Yeah.
Not only did he just put $250,000 in your pocket, $1 million within a year, but he's also
12 million. 12 million.
12 million.
$1 million a month.
So long as it got Ilya, you get these PJ. So what I'm saying is, what he's mastered on top of that is the leverage, because he's also beyond the 12 million and the $250,000. He just put probably about 200 days back in your soul that you didn't have to show up for, monetized it through virtual reality.
And now, but now you have two things, and I think this is the advantage that people aren't taking advantage of. You have two things: you have influence and money, and when you have influence and money, that's the real power.
So what do you?
Mark Cuban has no power. He's got money, but he's got no power.
He has no power. Yeah. No.
What do you say to the celebrity who has a following? They're not tapping into it, like in the sports world, and they want to start building that before
Sports world's fantastic. Are
Yeah.
we talking? So I just right before COVID, we were doing a deal with Derek Fisher
Mhm.
from
We
the
know him.
Lakers, and
Yep,
the
worked with
Sparks
him
and-
twice. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was on
he's-
Dancing with the Stars a couple of
Yeah.
2 seasons ago.
good guy, great book.
Yeah,
Great book,
yeah.
character driven. A really, really good guy. We're putting something together, trying to maybe thinking about picking up where Kobe left off.
Mhm.
And so basketball is one thing. I'm gonna share right now though about football, because we were talking to Marshall Falk a couple of years ago, and I said, Marshall, you got to jump in this, man. And we had breakfast in San Diego, and he's like, oh, I know. But here's the thing, man. You can chase fame and you can like the likes, and Marshall likes the likes. But he's not Byron wants the Quan.
Mhm.
He's like, the likes will come, but the likes are going to come because I have more money than you, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because I know how to help you make money.
Yeah.
Right. So Marshall missed an opportunity. I think anything with sports, if you're in coaching, you can kill it right now if you're in football, because fantasy football is going to go bananas. And you can kill a coaching course. Imagine you created a coaching course on how to pick your fantasy football team, and you're Herm Edwards. Herman Edwards could go make himself, he can make his family an extra $50 million by coming out with a course that he charges $199 for every season. Says, I'm going to help you pick your fantasy football team. Take my course. I update it every 30 days. And then he can have his people update it from the notes that he took when he was the coach of the Jets. It wouldn't matter. People would flock to that because it's a $6 billion industry.
Right.
So I think sports celebrities have a lot of opportunities to monetize their influence, but they think that their influence is with the last team they played. Their influence, to your point, Gene, is not with the last team they played. It's with their alma mater. They're gods to the college that they played with.
That's right.
They're not bound to the last team they played with. I'll remember Magic Johnson because I'm a Michigan fan. I'll remember Jordan, and I'll remember Patrick Ewing if I liked Georgetown or if I liked North Carolina, right? Or I'll remember, that you can, every college has their superstar, right? And then they have a bunch of other guys who came after them, and that's where the money is in the alma maters, because you can then pick up 100,000, 50,000 person following, and then you can show up. Imagine, Gene, who's your favorite underrated person who's not making money in sports?
My boyfriend. And what I mean
we
by
gotta
that
get
is,
rid
He's
of him
amazing. He's
anyway.
amazing.
We got to get rid of him.
No, he is amazing. No.
You looked hot in
I'm
that
sorry.
scene, that
I didn't
I'm
even
just
know.
keeping it real.
I know where she's going with it. No,
Okay.
I want to apologize so it's not misinterpreted, because I knew where her head was, so I just
You
coughed it
knew
out.
where I was going.
Robin's one of my best friends, as she is. I mean, I'm dating both of them. They're both it's a trio. But Robin is a beast. He is one of the most amazing people on the planet.
What
But he's
school did he
so
go to?
creative that he hasn't learned how to flip the script into the business world and maximize.
Which
Let me
is why I
set
said what I said about having influence on the inside than having more followers. A
and
lot
the
of people know who he is. Yeah.
What school did he go to? What college?
So he went to Nevada, and he played professional ball with N1. And
With
he
N1?
also- With N1 professional.
T-ball.
He has his own
I know what it
PlayStation
is.
game. He has all of these things going, and he's monetized off of it, but not to the degree we want to monetize
Well,
off.
here's the
beast.
thing. He's making money, but he's not securing a future. Because he's probably gonna live in the lifestyle of the money he's making, so there's no future. He needs to add 2 or 3 zeros to the money he's making
Correct.
over the next 5 or 6 years, so that he
But
can
Here's
put
the
it side
caveat.
by side.
He's not just a great basketball player. Like, he won a championship in China, #2 at 15 years old in table tennis. He can
Nobody
sing.
knows that, except
No
the
one
people in
knows that.
China.
That's right. And so he's so talented and so giving with his talent, to the point where he's too giving sometimes.
So here's something I'll share with you, which is really important especially for athletes. When you're introducing a product, you have to solve a problem, right? So we talked to some basketball players that solved how to shoot free throws, right? The Shaq problem, right? That's solving a problem. What he should be focused on right now is connecting, and in his case, he needs to connect with 2 or 3 other influencers, because I'm being real with you. He doesn't have enough name recognition or influence to do anything on his own. It's going to be an uphill battle, and he's probably maximized where he's at, right? So the next level for him is personality. But if he wants to do something where he maximizes his influence internally, he might be very respected in the sport and know a lot of people, right? So in Derek's case, Derek knows a lot of people, but he also won 5 NBA titles.
Correct.
He also was a Laker. Derek he's more for real, but not charismatic. And I'm keeping it real. Derek's not the most charismatic.
We know
guy.
Derek. Yes.
Yeah. He's like a nice guy, but he's not charismatic, but a great guy. So I can sell Derek to families because he's a great guy. But I can't get him Instagram followers because he's a great guy. I can take him to events and get more money because he's a great guy and he's recognizable.
That's right.
So what your guy has to do is become recognizable by hanging out with people who are recognizable.
Which he does.
He needs to get them involved somehow. It needs to be a trio.
I see.
This is
But not
absolutely
managers.
amazing info. Yeah.
Not like CJ was saying, they've got to be also talent. So it's like let's say it was and one, which is a 3-on-3 game, right?
He's an original and one ball player.
Which is great, but not a lot. It's a very, very small following.
Correct.
Right? It's like the WNBA, like nobody knows. And I'm not being arrogant. There's too much competition and noise. The NBA is too big.
Yeah.
The NBA is too big. But here's the interesting part. He like you said something about China. Well, this is interesting. His niche might be in China.
His biggest following is in China and Indonesia.
Right. So what I'm sharing with you is, if his value is in China and Indonesia, why is he living here? And you might be awesome in bed, but you're talking about leaving. The fastest growing place for billionaires on the planet is China.
Oh,
so at the end of the day,
shut up, Anthony.
To whatever you're doing to the boy, you got to teach classes on that.
Well, look. I'm gonna cheers with my water.
I like your glass.
Hey, thank
CJ.
you.
It's nice. The diamond cut.
Hey, there you go, bro. There you go.
Well,
look,
That's a different class, Peter Anthony.
Peter, I know that you have to go, and
Yeah,
let me tell you something. I really, we all do. We appreciate you coming through.
Thanks, man.
Peter, is there any chance that I can talk to you offline? Because I got a couple of questions for you as well.
Yeah, so I'll give everybody my
Kyron,
email. It's PAW.
Okay, cool.
It's PAW@youwillchangetheworld.com.
Okay.
I'll make sure
Peter
you
Anthony Wien.
So, ladies and gentlemen, also my stylist Tanya Firely. She loves you, and she said she remembers and she just wants to be in your world again. So she said hello.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Thank
she
you.
said hello.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please, once again, Peter Anthony.
Thank you.
love you, buddy.
Pizza.
Byron, I love you, man.
I love
you
you.
guys. CJ, Jean Grey, which is not really your name, but God, you look great in that blue outfit. And I don't care that boy's bigger than me. I will stand up there and I will say, your lady's hot. I'm ready to go down. I'm going to throw it down. I'm like, dude, go make some more money. You don't want to make me rich.
And as soon as we're done, as soon as we're done, Peter, I'm gonna hit up Debbie and tell Debbie, say, guess who I just talked to today?
She probably, honestly, she probably won't remember me. It was like, that's 31 years ago.
No, Debbie remembers everybody. Like,
31
everybody.
years ago.
Wow.
When I tell you he is one of the 5 people in my highest realm of my inner court to trigger my brain to take me to another level. He's we're
going to win a Pulitzer.
Exactly. He's my first. He's actually taking my content in my book and turning it into monetizing it into a program.
I love it.
And actually,
I really do.
Side of it, I mean, we're masterminding on so many things and so many things that are coming down the pipipeline during this time. I want you guys to know. I
love watching you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
More than welcome.
But that silver fox shit you got going on, I love it.
Tell your man.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell him myself. I'll tell him. I'm not afraid.
Peter,
so hilarious. Y'all are so funny. Thank you, Peter, because they're gonna keep you.
All right, guys.
Go, Peter.
Love you.
Go.
Cheers.
You didn't tell me he was crazy like us.
So, folks who are listening on Bring It to the Table, I'm saying that was a wealth of information.
Just so everybody's clear, he's happily married with a beautiful family. He just loves fucking around. He's us. He really is us. I don't hear my inner circle like that. Just like I kept y'all under a hat for a long time. I like motherfuckers knowing my secret, assets. So.
No, it's just good to also have some industry insight to a lot of things, especially from the marketing and business standpoint.
Yeah.
So let me help y'all out with something. Stop trying to get your friend who know a little something. Get you somebody who actually does it. Like,
that's
that's all they do. Like, that is it. Not somebody who got their pinky finger in it.
That's right.
The motherfuckers like you did it, just like you two. It's
I
like,
hesitate. When people ask me to do that, I'm like, I'll help you with the way that I can, but I don't want anything from that because that's not my.
Yeah, I only have people do like you. I'm not gonna have CJ sing unless motherfuckers can just out sing everybody. just you're the witness. It's like, I'm not laughing. If I did not endorse, because my reflection of who the fuck I am is an Academy, it is a Grammy, it is a Pulitzer. It's who the fuck I am. Yeah. Whether anybody else knows it or not, it's not for them to know because it's in God's time the way I do it. I've already made everything I needed to in the inside circle. Now it's for me to do everything that he called me to do, which the world will come and bow down. Right. That's my theme song for going into 2021 is bow down.
Bow down. When you come to my town. Bow down when you come.
I want to connect everybody that I love with where they should be. And it has nothing to do with me all the time. But I feel like if you're a conduit, be a conduit.
Yeah.
If you're a connection, be the connection. But you shouldn't expect anything necessarily in return for being who you are.
Yeah.
You're going to be that anyway.
If you have that agenda and you're doing something with an expectation, you're already coming up short and in a deficit in our world. Because we give from our heart. We give it, it's just, I did a whole thing the other day on just understanding how motherfuckers throw dirt, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, how many people got dirt being thrown at them? Gene definitely got shit thrown at him. CJ got dirt thrown at him. I got dirt. But how the fuck is the seed going to actually grow? How's the seed going to crack? For a seed to come up to become the most beautiful flower, the most amazing harvest, and to be able to really feed the rest of the land, that motherfucker's under a whole lot of dirt that we call soil. And it has to go through a whole lot before anybody else sees it. But you water it with the right motherfucker. It feeds the rest of the world.
Amen.
You throw a seed on cement and try and wire a motherfucker, you see why most people wash up on shore.
That is so beautiful what you just said. You throw it in, it feeds the rest of the world. I love that. I love that.
That's what we're here to do. That's who we are. That's who the fuck we are. That's who Eric is. Everybody that's in our world, everybody you have on here. I mean, we go to Claudia, Robin. I mean, the whole circle as the family continues to grow. That's what this is about. It's about organically growing. We aren't here for likes. I know I'm not here for no motherfucking likes. I don't give a fuck who likes me.
Me either.
You don't like me? Bow down. Get the fuck out. You will pay. You will pay.
What would you say? Fuck you, pay me.
Fuck you, pay me. Isn't that what Jay-Z said? Fuck you, pay me.
Pay me. I'm just getting started.
I think that for our listeners who are out there, make sure that you get this information that we've given you today and you actually just sit on it, meditate on it for a little bit and actually allow God to see where you need to go and where you want to be and what you're trying to do. I mean, because you can't do it by yourself. That's the one thing I hope that you are getting out of this, is that none of us admit to doing things by ourselves, because you can't.
Nothing.
And I hope that with Peter, just letting you know that it does take a team. It does take a village. If it takes a village to raise your child, it takes a village to get your career and things going. And you make sure that you have to start with your foundation first. What are you trying to do? What do you want to do? And then see what your branches extend to and see who your branches are extending to. So that's why I love Byron and Gene right here. Because these two rats here, even though I won't get to see them for about 11 weeks, but
nigga, they gonna have to kick me out. Shit, they gonna be like, nigga, it's shit, whatever.
Do you know my auntie Lily almost she turned it down, and she said if I were to remember that CJ was on Dancing with the Stars, I would have took the hair and makeup as the key stylist.
Wow.
I was gonna take that position too, but I didn't just want to fuck this shit.
So make sure, look,
I didn't want to fuck it up. I didn't want to fuck it up.
Next week is our Dancing with the Stars premiere, and yes, we have Carol Baskin on there.
Well,
Lord. I'm gonna tell you. First of all, it was so hot. Wendy, do you have my picture for how hot it was in LA? Can you just show that motherfucker, please?
I'm scared.
Look at that shit right there.
No, for real.
Look at that shit. That shit was 113 degrees in LA on Sunday.
Well, it was 118 out here in Pasadena.
It really was.
The devil running around with no panties on, trying to fuck everybody.
Trying to fuck
everybody.
Not with some hot
everybody.
No panties on.
With some
no panties on. Just like bam, nigga, bam, nigga, bam, nigga. Bam,
nigga. Melting and everything.
Yeah, I mean, the cones were wow.
Melted.
Everybody ain't able.
Jesus.
Let me tell you.
But if the condom is melting, you might as well just go on, baby. You pregnant.
You know, that's a lot of friction.
I was walking around with a Bible.
You know what?
Not the Bible. Not the Bible.
Well, I think Peter was a total gem.
I need you guys to know him. I want you guys to
truly. Thank you for sharing him with us.
Thank you so much, Byron, for sharing him with us. That is just.
I got Sheree on and some other people.
Let me tell you something, Byron. I want to just say this between you and I. That's how you do it. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
That's how you do it. That's why no other conversation could have happened with that other one, because that's how you do it. Because I was like, just something in my spirit ain't right. This just something ain't right. That's how you do it.
What other one? I want to know.
We'll talk offline about that.
Hold it. I'll talk about it right now.
Right now.
So we talking about transparency of motherfuckers to keeping it real. And coming and we're what CJ is talking about, baby, is and it is an open conversation, but we having a family conversation because y'all family, so y'all motherfuckers welcome to the family. We're talking about documentation beats conversation. Fuck what you think, what you hope, your hypotheticals, your theoreticals, and all the rest of the bullshit you come on. I had somebody, Sheree's on the call right now, my baby, who's actually lead. She's doing the masterpiece on my book, and she called me on some people that are in my world, you know, that are larger than life, and said, I just need to know because some people are like reaching out to me before I actually connect with them. Is there some shit I need to know? And I was like, I don't know. Is there some shit that you need to know? I don't give a fuck because if you know in your heart, and we've all been there. You know what I'm talking about? We've all been there. And CJ, and I want the audience to get this, but CJ and Jay, I want y'all to get this. Where you're reaching out to certain people, but they aren't getting back to you. And then certain shit is not adding up. And you're almost inside your head like, is there a conspiracy or some shit that I'm not aware of that's going on behind the back door? Because it's just not coming. The calls aren't coming in. People aren't returning. People are MIA. You got caught up in the witness. And it's not one. It's almost like the universe is conspiring. You know what I'm talking about, right? Both of y'all.
Can I say something?
Please.
Let me tell y'all something about our connection, the three of us. I want you to listen carefully. Just quickly. You can't reach out to me or him or anyone that's actually really close to him all the way on the end over there, and think we're not gonna hit him up and say, "Do you know this person is reaching out to me?" So it's amazing because that happens a lot. It happens a lot. I'm not the right person for that because I'll totally act like an asshole and ignore you or check you on it and then call him and tell him about it. So don't do it because he's gonna know about it within 30 seconds of you doing it. 30 seconds of you do, but people do it all the time, especially women. So I just want to let you know.
Basically, let me tell y'all something. In business, because we're all right here together, ain't one making move without the other, without somebody knowing about it. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
Because I'm not physically there doesn't mean I'm not physically there.
Because it's gonna be ran by one of us. It's gonna be ran, and I mean ran by either you're gonna run over a squirrel and fall off something, or it's gonna be ran by one of us.
We're not going to entertain your conversation without notifying the other. And I shouldn't be telling you this because I really like to go through the process of people trying. It's actually kind of fun sometimes, but we telling on you, boo.
And y'all
y'all be
thinking this millennial is naive and don't know shit. I look at you like, I have been on an Emmy Award-winning show for 7 years, and I've done something in this business for over 14. You don't think I know what the shit look like?
People who are really close don't need to reveal to others that they're really close. So
whoa!
What other motherfuckers is doing while we're really close.
So let me tell you something. Keep your circle small. It don't need to be big.
It doesn't.
Only thing that you need to see big is my dick. But you don't need to see nothing else big.
Say it again,
Excuse me while I pick it off the floor. Pardon me. You ready to go? You ready to go? You ready to go? Come on, let's get out of here.
I get tried year after year. It never works. It actually, some other people will play the game with you motherfuckers. I won't. I just won't respond to you for a few days until I get a response from the person that matters.
And this is people that have small minds but big checkbooks. They think that their checkbook actually matches the universe that we live in, which is really interesting.
Because the minute you flash your checkbook to think that it's bigger than what we have, I've already removed some money from your checkbook account.
Yes, we did, Tanya. Yes, we did. We just talked about this. Simply because I don't know what it is with people, but I do know what it is. It's your pride and it's your ego. You always want people to love you and loathe you because of what they think you may have going on, which really you ain't got shit going on, because if you did, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in, but you make that package look real good. But what you need in your life is folks like this. That's what you need in your life, because these people going to tell you, no, I don't think you should do that. Yeah, okay, well, that's a good look. No, I'm thinking, you need some real motherfuckers in your life. And I'm telling you, us right here, that's on this Bring It to the Table. Oh, yeah.
Real motherfuckers.
But the other indicator is what people don't get is, I don't just love what everybody else loves about them. I love what everybody don't love about them. And unless you figure out, and here's what I know about these two, or which way, this way. These two is everybody can't handle what you don't love about them. That's how I know who's real. So, unless you love what the rest of the world doesn't love about them, you ain't supposed to be here.
These nuts.
On that note, we'd like to thank you for coming out to Bring It to the Table. Let me tell you, when you know it's been a great show, when you know that the information has been passed on, and when you know that the spirit has led the conversation, ain't nothing else to do. So, Gene, tell them folks to bring their kids on.
Bringing bastard ass kids back.
Lord, I hope they got daddies.
That one, right? It was plastic. I don't know what happened in my straw.
Not the plastic. Maybe you sucked too hard.
Did we ever finish that damn book?
What you talking about? Art of Seduction?
Art of Seduction?
Yeah, we finished it.
Yeah.
Last fucking.
in the car.
You say you a I've been stroking. That's what I've been doing.
My baby brother.
What?
Perhaps it isn't the answer in the female having the gender identity that is the opposite of men.
Did you just throw that shit up there? What is that?
That's some shit that came up this week, and I said, y'all need to see this shit. Throw that back up and some motherfuckers see that.
Merriam-Webster Dictionary adds the definition of female having a gender identity that is opposite of male. So it can be now clarified that trans women, since they do not no longer have a penis, they are technically a woman because the Webster's Dictionary. I understand that.
No, I don't.
You know, wait, hold on, Gene. I know where you're about to go. Just because most women will say they're not technically women because they did not have a menstrual cycle. They cannot bear children. They cannot A, B, and C. I'm going to go.
Yes, I'm a woman. Who is most women? 4 women that said that?
That's what I've read. It may have been a panel of 4 women. I read that. Let me ask Gene, what is your definition of a woman?
Are you serious right now? The fact that I have to have this conversation. Let me tell you.
Because you are the woman on the panel, and we got to see shit like this in the Webster Dictionary. So, yeah.
When you were pushed out of the womb with the vagina, that is my definition of a woman.
I love that.
I love it. I love the vagina too.
End of day. Okay, when you came out the womb and you have a fucking penis, you are a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Do you not? So that's why I don't mind the title trans woman than saying just woman. That's what's saying.
Into a woman, but you were not born a woman. I don't care how you felt. You didn't become a woman until you transitioned into one, and great, and that's fine. I accept that. But when you came out of that womb, whatever you are is what you are. Now, if you didn't feel that way inside, and you have other things that have transitioned you into that position, I respect that too.
All women, most women don't think that. Some people can take 2 fists without a vagina. What the fuck?
Listen, Ruben, with your shock value ass motherfucker. What the fuck does that have to do with how the hell you came out of the womb? Let me tell you something.
I still love Ruben. He's stupid ass.
I guess Ruben is crazy. If I was born a woman and I am a woman, that's what I am. Now, if at some point wet ass pussy, what? That's different.
I mean, Rue, you had to go with the 2 fit. Rue.
That's it. That's all I got to say. My definition of a woman is what you came out of the womb as.
Okay.
That's it.
Dom, you know what you turned on.
You know what you turned on.
So don't trip.
Double fisted. I'm a woman. I can't.
You know, it's also it's been said, and we'll touch on this again, but it's been said that if a trans woman body burns beyond recognition, that the body that the bones will be classified as a man, and that they will say this man, because of how the bone structure is, that this man has died of so and so and so and so. Do you think that because of science and because of how our bone structure and everything is made, do you think it is all mental?
I'm not answering that question.
Okay.
I plead the fifth on that one.
Kyrie?
Because I think that's a deeper conversation than a.
That's why I said we'll continue it. We'll continue.
Than a 2-second answer, and I don't want anybody to.
The truth is that Glitz back out the room.
Okay.
Ask the question again, CJ, so I can hear it.
Here's what I will say. Let me say this. If I woke up tomorrow and said I was born in a white neighborhood, I was raised by white people, I feel white, and I am white, would that be as accepted?
I'm gonna say, get the fuck out of here. You know damn well you ain't white.
Next topic.
I hate that I answered that. Kyron, the question was, if a body is burned beyond recognition that is of a trans woman, science is going to say that this is a body of a man because of how the bone structure is. Is it then, because of that, is it then mental? is the state of mind of what you are mental. Shall we table that for next week?
Yeah, because that's
Okay.
that's when you start getting the transgenders and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It's a very gray area because I believe if you believe you're transgender. Does that make sense? But
Yeah.
You know, and the reason why I guess I'm more sympathetic to
I am all the way. I love
I'm
y'all.
gonna say I'm sympathetic to people that are ignorant to the Black issues. Completely ignorant. No, I'm not either. But I'm saying I'm more sympathetic.
You are.
To the motherfuckers that are ignorant to the situation because of how they were raised.
Yeah.
And how they were raised. I'm not making excuses for it before anybody gets a raised eyebrow and goes and gets triggered in this shit. I'm not making excuses for it. I'm not validating this shit. I already know, Jay. Stick with me on this shit, right? It's a parallel. So I'm sympathetic to it because of how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
And I was raised in a very homophobic environment where to even think about being gay was like something's wrong with your ass. Like literally when I was in school, like first year out of college, and my family, my friends would tell you, this motherfucker tried to hit on me and I knocked his fucking his tooth out. He ended up having to go to the dentist. I just immediately, it was just an immediate, I had another guy who was my friend for over 15 years. And then he came at me sideways, like out of nowhere. And I was just like, nigga, really?
Mm-hmm.
It was just backdoor. You know what I'm saying? But then.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. But as you evolve and you get wiser and you grow up and you become more acclimated, like, for example, I'll kill a motherfucker over Ruben.
Yeah.
That's right. I would
right?
too.
So I introduced Ruben to Jay and everybody, and they ended up, going down a different path, become best friends. But I will kill a motherfucker over Ruben.
That's right. Don't hurt him.
But that's today's Byron. That's today's Kyron.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday's Kyron had a whole because of how I was raised.
Right.
Because I was exposed.
I struggle with that. There's enough information out there to create a today's Byron in everyone.
Today. But yesterday there wasn't.
Right. Oh, no. 30 years ago it wasn't.
I'm right at 31, nigga. What you want?
What I'm saying is though, that's not, I can't sympathize with you today.
Right.
Based on how you.
Well, I'm sympathizing today because of what I learned 30 years ago of how I was raised and what I was exposed to 30 years ago of how ignorant I was 30 years ago.
I understood that. Yeah.
I get that.
Because of how ignorant I was 30 years ago and who I am today, I have a sympathetic ear. It doesn't mean I give you a pass, that you're excused, and that it's all right, and that it's plausible. Motherfucker, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I have more of an empathetic and sympathetic ear.
An empathetic ear, not a sympathetic ear.
Sympathetic based on if you're raised in Hitler's house.
You know what?
Because I was raised not just in a house, but in an entire environment. That you know.
That's a real extreme. And you would have
I'm an extreme motherfucker. What you want from me?
No, you would have to prove to me that you were raised in Hitler's house for me
Got
to
that.
extend and
Got that.
But
Got
if you were
that.
raised in Karen's house down the street, motherfucker, you know better.
Understood. But I'm saying for me, this is a subjective thing, just for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not for the average motherfucker, because I'll be the same thing. You have to prove to me, your ignorance, your suppression, your oppression, your roots and where it came from, and that your father was the head of the KKK and
Okay, so then we should be sympathizing and empathizing with Donald Trump because his father was a Klan member and he was raised in that industry?
Not in 2020.
But we should be lending an empathetic ear to him, though, right?
I got an empathetic ear and I got a knife
Wait,
for that too.
but I think we're just getting a bit off subject because he was only making the comparison to what his background is and to what he can only.
I don't think we're off subject. Donald Trump is a great example of that.
No, he's a great.
Raised in a great racist.
No, suck me into political bullshit. I ain't fucking with no chump.
No.
Fuck the politics. He was raised by a grandmaster of the KKK.
Look, I don't like pink babies.
Should we extend an empathetic ear to him because he was raised in that culture and that's why he is who he is today?
I'm gonna tell you, yes, we should, because we have spirits that can see past the bullshit that people are going through and what they are, and I think that on any playing field, you can find moments that. Okay, I'll be all right. I personally don't think, Gene, you have that full hatred in your heart for anybody. I just don't. I just don't. And I think that even with Trump,
it's hard.
And I don't even want to say just him in politics or whatever. But I think that there is still something you can find.
I think that Trump has access to so much information to contradict how he's raised that he's making a conscious choice not to acknowledge it.
Not to acknowledge it.
No empathy for him. I'm sorry.
Okay. And that's fair.
Because if you were raised that way and then you become exposed to the information that can help you learn a different way and you make a conscious choice to disregard it, ignore it, and disrespect it, how could I ever extend empathy to you? Why would I do that when you're deciding to disregard the truth?
I'll say this. 8 years ago, a lot of people, black, white, everybody, loved Trump. He was friend to all 8 years ago.
I think 8 years ago, a lot of people accepted Trump. Let me give you an example. I had the pleasure of being trained by him twice.
Okay.
In a sales environment. And in that environment, till this day, I met a person who was polite to me. I met a person who taught me something I didn't know. And I met a person who cared about the environment he was in. But I was not unconscious to the fact that he didn't give two fucks about me. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
So even though 8 years ago I could tolerate him in that environment, I could not tolerate him as the free world leader of the world.
Leader of the world. Yeah.
There's a difference.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Well, y'all know when the P word comes in, and if it ain't pussy, Byron shuts down. So
and I gotta pee. Is that a P word? I really gotta use the bathroom, so we need to cut this short because the bitch is getting old and she can't hold it much longer.
All right.
So we talk about pussy?
Well, hey.
No, we're talking about.
Well, damn.
You gonna close us out, Byron?
I'll close this out. So one, I want to tell everybody we love you.
Yeah.
I've had a very hard week. Anybody else have a hard week? I had a hard week.
I had it wasn't hard.
It wasn't a bad week.
It was every week. It wasn't a bad week.
A lot of people interpret when you say a hard week is a bad week. It wasn't a bad week. It was a hard week. It was a learning. It was an experience. It was expansion week. It was all that, right? Yeah. And so that being said, I have an amazing announcement. Wendy, if you could pull it up. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do at 6 p.m. on my Facebook, Mr. Byron Nelson, a Facebook Live to promote for Saturday, and which deals with all of the humanity and all of the bullshit of Black Lives Matter and everything else that deals with if you brown, black, white, or Puerto Rican or Asian, between two iconic generals, Mr. Les Brown and Dr. George Frazier. Wendy, could you pull up the flyer for me? Yeah, how about?
Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater.
Wendy, did you take a nap? You took up. You did a Jamila. You went to the bathroom. You did a Jean Grey.
She's gone with the wind, Wendy.
You're like, push them out, dude.
Gone with the wind, Wendy.
All right, gone with the wind.
The G said, "Look, I gotta go pee." been the boys on, just two of us. It ain't never been the boy. Let's
Yeah,
what kind of conversation we can have now, bro?
A real conversation about this shit, right?
Yo,
Yeah,
bro,
talk about it.
now we can really talk about some pussy. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
talk about
Man,
some
we
shit
really
that's real now, right? Goddamn motherfuckers in the bed talking about some shit. Goddamn, always got some estrogen up in this motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. Now we can really, you know what I'm saying? Yo, all the fellas that's listening, man, tell your bitch to get out the room and let's this real talk.
Pull out your Brazilian nuts, nigga, and tell her to leave.
Tell her to leave. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we just joking, y'all. We just joking. Go ahead. I think maybe Wendy did step away.
No, I'm looking at the chat. She said it's loading slowly.
Okay.
But at 6 p.m. on Mr. Byron Nelson, I'm doing a complete piece, and I'm looking at possibly either Les Brown or George joining me. It depends on their schedule.
Okay.
But not like I need a whole lot of help.
Yeah. You don't.
What?
You don't.
Wendy, are you saying 5? Why am I doing 5? I'm not.
You peed like a man.
Bring it to the table at 5. Why you got 5 up there, Wendy? What am I missing? Oh, in 5 minutes. $5 minutes. 5. Wait, what do you say? That's $5. Shit, you fucked up. What is that? Who is that? That was
James Brown, Ike Turner, $5. $5.
$5. That's that Ike Turner shit.
Hey, Ike Turner, where you going? This ain't flowers.
Oh, there we go, right there. So that's tomorrow night. Niggas on fire.
Oh shit! Now look at
Look
that.
at now. Look at that nigga right there, boy. So yeah.
That smoke.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we're gonna get into some shit, and then yeah, that's tomorrow night to lead into. Just come on my Facebook, either Mr. Byron Nelson or Byron Nelson tomorrow night at 6 p.m. You'll see one of my. How many personalities do I have, Jean Grey?
At least 4.
You'll get one of them that's not here tonight. Shut up.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Yeah. So, but he'll show up tomorrow night and break your shit down. Aside from that, we want you to bring out the kids and beat them to a pulp and then throw them outside and have some more.
Oh no, that made me sneeze for some reason.
And the elderly people back. It's okay.
We thank you. We just love you guys for joining us. We're just having a good time. I'm gonna tell you this though, with what I've dealt with over the last week. I need every one of you to learn how to laugh for the rest of your fucking life. I mean, I so understand how important it is. Like this is not, nobody could be watching this but CJ and Jean Grey. And I really okay. I don't give a fuck. I need them. This is more therapy for me than it is doing a fucking show. I don't give a fuck about a show. Popular likes, I don't give a fuck. This is therapy. I am so aware of dealing with life situations and the anxiety of this season that we're living in, which is probably the most intense time, not in my life, but in the history of the time that this planet has been in existence globally at the same time for the entire human race. And it is so interesting to me to understand how you reflect and you truly understand and you see how important it is to not take life so seriously, how quickly it can leave you.
Yeah.
And, and I say it almost in a cliche manner. The one thing that humans and milk have in common is they all have an expiration date, including each one of us sitting here. They can hear us, right? You have no fucking idea if your clock is up by the time this show is over.
Yeah.
And the one statement that I've learned that is so consistent on every death is I wish I had spent more time with somebody. So when I have the time, create the time, and I can spend it with these two and every one of you that are participating in this show, without getting too deep and getting too drudgy and getting too depressing and taking you down real situations and some bullshit. I am so excited about this moment in our lives right this fucking second. Learn how to laugh as much as you can and smile and make somebody else smile and love on people.
Mm-hmm.
It is so fucking important. And that's how I'm going to tell you to bring the kids back out. So we love you for joining us. I'm going to ask my little brother to just bring us home and make me smile.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. And I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be all right. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges. Love your perfect imperfection. 'Cause you give me all of me. Oh, and I give you all of you. Oh, there you go.
Love it.
Love that.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Everyone. Thank you,
Make
Tanya.
sure you share these leftovers because that's what we do. Bring it to the table. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you again, Peter. We love you. Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Love you. God bless.